Hello and welcome to another episode of Salary Voodoo, the show on the MMA Engine channel where I, your host Monk, aka the Monkmatician, break down 3 fights from a Salary Voodoo perspective to get you ready for UFC Vegas 57. Now, before we get into it, guys, please like the video, subscribe to the MMA Engine channel. We are bringing you content several times a day, several days a week before each and every UFC card. So be sure to check us out. Thank you for joining us. What is Salary Voodoo? Well, it is a way of using data that most people don't have to construct a GPP lineup specifically. Who should we smash? Who should we avoid? Maybe what fights are generally make the optimal, etc., etc. You know what? Just stick around for the next 10 or 15 minutes or so, and you will know exactly what I mean. And hopefully, you'll have 3 fights that you know whether you should play or avoid for GPP tournaments for UFC 57. Now, before we get into it, one last thing. Please comment down below of what fights we want to see, or rather what fights you want me to talk about for next card. That way I don't pick them, you guys get involved, and it's much more fun that way. We don't know the salaries yet, but that just makes it more interesting. So please like the video and comment down below who should we talk about next week. Now, let's get right into it, guys. First fight for Salary Voodoo. Bautista going against Brian Kelleher, 8,700 against 7,500. This one is picked by David Castillo and Mauler138. Thank you, gentlemen, for your picks and your contribution to the show. It is much, much appreciated. Bantamweight fight. Someone makes the optimal lineup from that fight, from that weight class, rather, 51.69% of the time. Currently, this is the second fight of the night. Someone makes the optimal from that fight 52.38% of the time, a fantastic number there. And the salary pair of 87 and 7,500 makes optimal 47.37. So not quite 50 there, but not terrible. $8,700 has been used 56 times. It's made the optimal 18 out of those 56 times. That is a rate of 32.14%, a fantastic number for such a high salary. 69.64% win rate, you know, not the best, but not terrible either. 43% of the time it wins, it makes the optimal. So that is a decent number for such a high salary, averaging 94.66 DraftKings points per win. So some decent numbers there from the $8,700 salary. Kelleher on the other side, 75. That salary's been used 58 times, only made the optimal half as many as its counterpart, 9 out of 58 times. That is a rate of 15.52%, has a win rate of 31%, and when it does win, makes the optimal 44.44% of the time. That is a decent number, but the salaries around that all have better numbers than that. So it is a bit subpar in that regard, averaging 93 points when it wins. These are some okay numbers from Kelleher in the $7,500 salary, but Kelleher's numbers, let's see if I can find them. He scores very well per minute. I believe it's 3.33 points a minute. Let's see, 3.39 and 104.63 when he loses, guys. So these are some pretty decent numbers, and for that reason, this fight is going to be a Bernie. We got ourselves a blessed fight here. The salary score of 8,700 is the 8th best you can play. 6.84 is my salary score on that one. And the 7,500 gets a score of 11.92, 25th best out of 31 possible salaries. But the upside, the scoring upside of Kelleher is going to push this one over the edge for me, giving it a blessed fight, which makes it a Bernie. So thank you, David Castillo and Mauler138. We got ourselves a Bernie here. Second fight, Moises going against Christos Giagos, 9,000 and 7,200. This one picked by War Dog and our guy David Castillo getting back in there. Thank you guys so much for your contributions. Lightweights make the optimal 53.19% of the time. This is fight number 9. 75% is not an accurate number. I must have mistyped that. The 9th fight of the night, someone makes the optimal from that fight 44.44% of the time, not 75. That is a mistype. Salary pair of 9 and 72 makes someone makes the optimal 58.18% of the time. That is the 4th best rate out of all salary pairs. So we are off to a great start here. Let's start with Giagos. That salary 7,200 has been used 56 times. Has made optimal 12 of those 56 times for a percentage of 21.43. Has a win percentage of 28.57. And when it does win, the $7,200 is optimal 3 out of 4 times it wins, guys. This is the best number out of all salaries, 75% optimal. Scoring an average of 97 in its wins, 97.43. $9,000 for Moises. That salary's been used 55 times, has made the optimal 20 out of those 55 times. That is the third most any salary has made the optimal since January 1st, 2021. 36.36 rate on that. That optimal rate is fantastic. 71% win rate. When it does win, it makes the optimal 48.72% of the time. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that is the best number in that salary range by far. Averaging 98.14 points when it wins. Guys, I think you know where we're going with this one. This one's got to be a Bernie. I mean, the $9,000 salary, 6.21 salary score, the fourth best number out of all salaries. Christos Giagos, 19th highest, 9.5 salary score. I like the numbers from Giagos, though. Again, kind of like Kelleher. This one's going to be raised up, bumped up a bit because of Giagos' numbers. I also might be picking him to win the fight, guys. I mean, this might be a huge underdog spot for me personally this week. And the $7,200 salary pays off when it wins. I mean, give me those odds. 3 out of 4 wins making the optimal. Put Giagos in a few of my lineups, that's for sure. Before we get into the third fight, guys, be sure, again, like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below who we should talk about next week. Thanks a ton. Third fight of the night, let's go. We're going to finish this salary voodoo off with Shavkat Rakhmonov at 9,300 and Neil Magny at 6,900. This one picked by our boy Donald Rocket. Thank you a ton, Donald. Welterweight fight here. Someone from that weight class makes optimal 44% of the time. Very low number. Fight number 11. We rebound that number, though, 56% of the time. 28 times out of 50, someone has made the optimal lineup from the 11th fight of the night. And the salary pair of 93 and 69, just under 49% optimal. Let's see here. Shavkat, 47 times the $9,300 salary has been used. It's made optimal 11 of those 47 times for a rate of 23.4. Has a win rate of 68.09. So that is pretty low for its salary range. 9,200 is 74. 9,400 is 80. And we are stuck down here at 68%. But when it does win, it makes the optimal 34.38% of the time. That is not a bad number at all. 97.18 average DraftKings points per win. So some decent numbers from the 9,300 salary. Not great, but decent. Let's take a look at the Magny side of things. It's 6,900 has been used 49 times. Made optimal in 12 of those 49 uses. I feel like my gain is way too high. I hope I'm not clipping or blowing your ears out here. 24% optimal is 12 out of 49. 24.5, I should say, has a win rate of 30.61%. And when it does win, guys, 6,900 is optimal 73.33% of the time. Almost just as good as the $7,200 salary, basically 3 out of 4 times. And when it does win, it averages 101 points. I mean, my goodness. I love the Shavkat side of things here, but you got to play some Neil Magny. Let's see what, are we going to get a Bernie? Are we going to get a frozen jack for David Rocket's fight pick? We got ourselves a Bernie. 3 Bernies on this week's show, guys. The salary score for 9,300 is 8.65, just over average for the card. 14th best out of all salaries, and the $6,900 salary gets a score of 8.71. Surprisingly, 16th highest. That is a fantastic number for such a low salary. Put these two together, I mean, until someone shows me otherwise, until Shavkat completely shits the bed, I will be smashing Shavkat at 9,300. And the best part is, if Neil Magny wins, he's making the optimal lineup at 3 out of 4 times. 3 out of 4 clip. $6,900. So I will be playing a bit of both sides. I'll have way more Shavkat, as I think he does very well. I'm smashing Shavkat and I'm smashing Umar this week, but I will have a bit of Magny there, and that salary score is decent. So guys, we did it the first time ever. 3 Bernies, 3 Bernie fights. We've got Mario Bautista, Brian Kelleher, 87 and 75, Bernie. We've got Thiago Moises, Christos Giagos, 9,072, Bernie. And we've got Shavkat Rakhmonov and Neil Magny, 9,300, 6,900, Bernie, guys, we did it. That is Salary Voodoo for this week. I want to thank everyone that contributed. I want to thank you all for liking the video and checking it out. Hopefully I gave you some different type of information that will assist you in the GPP construction, or the construction of your GPP lineups rather. So guys, ton of content today for Wednesday. Be sure to check it all out. The Monkmatician channel, the MMA Engine channel, all that good stuff. And as usual, I want all of you to enjoy the fights. So enjoy, and we will see you next time.